here at State Farm Atlanta in a new territory underneath. Kelsey Mitchell able to get
move with and without the ball.
5 and being able to really write it.
I know, we got about it.
Tina. Maybe at halftime. Assignment. Caitlin. Cheyenne Wallace at the rim, and so it's here actually as a Teaston. The send up the floor to the left. Gray pulls up. That one
every time down the floor is tried.
Buckets for the Fever. Clark, but then you also have Kelsey Mitchell.
Take away the vision of the ball handler.
Tina Charles with her second
shot.
Smith, overall draft picks.
Alicia Gray to get going offensively.
Nia Coffey coming off a game where she strike. Wallace left the of the season. She frees up space. Her best seasons in her career.
Round. They are going to double. So important for the Dream.
Possession game. Haley Jones spin around. Bounce pass up the floor. Tina Charles still for Atlanta. Wallace. So some hold on. Backdoor. Aerial power. Kelsey
fired
at 24 points.
Than what she's shooting from the field. And right
outside, 3 ball short.
I want to match and gets a good contest.
Tension on Clark outside. On what they've been able to be in the
up and down the floor.
So is this what to get things right away?
Impressive. And the nation in the world, a very tough schedule.
On the offensive end. Go to the WNBA app. To
All-Star in Phoenix. Boy, it's one of my Olympic team, our national team. Kaylin Clark is number 2. Camp last season.
And shot clock. Dangerfield holding up. Ears up. Midi. Every
last 4. So absolutely, and being more intentional about their offense
for this group, and that's something we've seen.
The Dream have to find some defense.
Left shoulder
down low.
This is the biggest lead. Touch pass to Nia Coffey in the corner. Powers baseline, showing post moves.
Christy Sides talked about his season. They set up a play, close out. You know what Luke.
Golden State showdown between Bay back in for Atlanta as Ariel Jones held up, and after Stanford been thrust into the point guard. Told is trending in the. Caitlin Clark asks for the ball, and that puts it off the deck. Held up, and or Atlanta rather looking for their.
Indiana way too much space to be there at all times. Indiana's just able to.
You have to have a hand in. Atlanta gets it back. Tina Charles just had 2 points. A lot of contact underneath.
Get their confidence, win those 3 games.
Up the court, Tina Charles gets the butts.
Running to the cup. Team, wake up a little bit on the defense.
Points.
You have to score.
On cue,
the Minnesota Lynx probably share the ball. Just so
we've seen from that roster has been very
in all the above.
Nia Coffey guarding.
Have to move the basketball and have more pace. And keeping that in mind, some
from Indiana as Atlanta now.
Wright got that technical.
Over the last few games, those 4 tonight.
Charles to Atlanta in the.
How about aerial power?
But it needs to be
nothing there. Charles called her own number. Out of contact off the drive by
flirting. Excuse me.
Up against Tina Charles, the bump there. Figures on this roster. Execution for Gray to get the rock on the Parker Tyus, trying to hold up Smith
in the middle more often.
Kelsey. 3 ball. It's on the game clock. The sharp minds for Atlanta as well. That's a lot. Get anything off, but says, I'll just hold it.
And he said offensively, we've got to get.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. You need some scoring from the outs.
And Nia Coffey. Shot clock, Gray releases and
close. The second
had 7 points against Atlanta in Boston. Beautiful dot
in that possession. The screen freed up.
Alyssa Smith, who has been a huge middle, able to get it back. 6'2" guard as Atlanta
on straight line drives.
Tina Charles at the rim.
She makes great catch.
Coming off of back-to-back. Charles backs off.
Mitchell.
The and one. Haley Jones. Over. Gray at the rim. Better nights at the office Now Tina Charles with the head fake.
The offense.
And here comes Mitchell, sends a 17 assists on 20.
On her back.
8 points for Jones. Gray off the deck. They have been to the free throw line.
She has been a huge ass.
Howard, who had 20.
Help is coming top side.
Gray, 3 ball. Short, but
Help side's got to be there.
and that's what Tabitha was mentioning. Underneath, Gray was number 15 left in the third quarter.
In a very different message, even
This quarter. Clark outside. It pulls for Miss Clark. Atlanta looking for a.
she is very, very capable.
The WNBA on Ion.
Down low.
Sloan, bad idea. Has been
Be most improved and then
Charles, the quick turnaround.
They just look better in this third quarter on the defensive end, and I like
The charity stripe. This is their 20. Erica Wheeler, outside contact, and that's what makes
instead to try to stop her. So where can that double come?
for Indiana. Inside asking for the ball at the rim. And
Discipline on that possession. What a perfect. He wants her to be aggressive, but wants her to do
travel call for Ariel, and
it's at the point to control
with the ball, and she cannot. The Sparks. No shot attempt for Atlanta.
She is talking to the official basketball aspect of this. She is
Previously for a WNBA.
the Southeast, and there's a
3 straight overall. So that's 3. Erica Wheeler rips it around. Gray thought about it, takes just 1 for 8 buckets on the shot clock. Holt 3 ball has 22.
to the half, but then it got chippy.
Also had 15 in the first.
And they're spacing standing basketball players, but they
Charles.
that's where they got to get the ball.
Samuelson, top of the key, Trey.
Get the credit for being the steady.
See them at shoot around. Start enjoying each other's personality.
Weeks of the season, and actually, I was actually against New York, and this team every possession. It's just a.
I think Tanisha Wright mentioned it as well. It's that knowing where each Gray loses record, then at home. Ariel Powers with the Ryan Howard out. We have not received.
Now, as we saw Caitlin Clark, Christy Wallace.
When they mention how this streak has
And the experience more than anything. How on to the lack of consistency and of adversities, but they're persevering.
instead
7 when the Fever beat the 50. Excuse me, the Fever.
NBA on Ion. Friday, Indiana has shot over 50%. Couldn't find the angle in a travel call. First or 5 of their
Atlanta, you know you can take that. Sit in defeat. 24-7. Trying to pick up Clark, but
so 8. At the rim to see if she can get anything off, but says I'll just hold it.
Secondary efforts and to get out to three-point shooters. And he said offensively, we've got to get
% from the floor.
yeah, I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix Ryan Howard. You need some scoring from the outside.
Up in the first half, Gray and Nia Coffey. 6 on the shot clock. Gray releases and
Atlanta some, but they close the second.
Caitlin Clark, who had 7 points against Atlanta and Boston. Beautiful dot
To pass, and that's exactly what happened in that possession. The screen freed up.
most of them going to Melissa Smith, who has been a huge. Gray briefly lost handle, able to get it back.
Mistakes on the defensive end.
6'2" guard as Atlanta.
Second line of defense that helped defense on straight line drives.
Tina Charles at the rim.
Leah Boston, she has soft hands. She makes great catch.
Half. Coming off of back-to-back. Tina Charles backs off.
And the quick release as well with Kelsey Mitchell.
The and one. Haley Jones. Austin leads to a turnover. Gray at the rim is able 4 for 4, but has seen better nights at the office. Able to get the rebound. Tina Charles with the head fake.
Where Tina Charles can't impact the offense.
And here comes Mitchell, sends it. Indiana, 17 assists on 20.
Getting Haley Jones into the post with Caitlin Clark on her back.
8 points for Jones.
Couldn't even see her.
Gray off the deck. Between her and Tina Charles, they have been to the free throw line.
She has great hands. She has been a huge asset.
Without the likes of Ryan Howard, who had 20.
She's got to cover the baseline because her help is coming topside.
Gray sends it out. 3 ball. Short.
Started this run for Atlanta. The help side's got to be there. You got to have some help side on the backside.
And that's what Tabitha was mentioning. Look at the rim. Underneath, Gray was
19 for 21.
And with 4:15 left in the third quarter.
It has set a different tone and a very different message. Even
so far tonight, she has 8 in this quarter.
First half, and that's affected their pace.
Clark outside. 4 triples for Miss Clark. Double figures for Indiana. Atlanta looking for a...
Wants to shoot the ball. That's the left wing where she is very, very capable.
Where her numbers on the floor. Sparks and the Mercury. It's a WNBA on Ion.
Who has been able to stop Melissa Smith down low?
So Clark left alone. Bad idea. Communication that Tanisha Wright has been.
I mean, how can you be most improved and then
so lethal? Charles, the quick turnaround.
Bound, look like in the throat. Free throws, and they just look better in this third quarter. They've upped their intensity level on the defensive end, and I like
this game, and doing so from the charity stripe. This is their 20th. Erica Wheeler outside, able to track it down. More contact, and that's what made
tonight, and so she puts her hands on her instead to try to stop her. You cannot help off of Clark, so where can that double come?
15-point lead for Indiana. Inside. Powers asking for the ball at the rim. And
Atlanta needed to be a little more disciplined on that possession. What a perf she should be looking for in that situation. She wants her to be aggressive, but wants her to do.
Minute to play here in the third. Travel call for Ariel, and
that championship level experience at the point to control.
2 on the shot clock. Mitchell with the ball, and she cannot. For Erin McDonald to bring her from the Sparks. Rim. And no shot attempt for Atlanta.
And clap-offs with the fans. She is talking to the official. Engaged outside of the basketball aspect of this, she is.
Record of 11,000 fans previously for a WNBA.
This is the WNBA team of the Southeast. And there's a
winning 4 straight at home, 3 straight overall.
Comfortable. You got to take away their space.
So that's 3. Boston making a play at the rim. Erica Wheeler rips it around. Gray thought about it, takes it. After starting off, just 1 for 8 from 5 seconds on the shot clock. Holt, 3 ball. Tina Charles has 22.
Locker room friendly after the half, but then it got chippy.
Half. Tina Charles had 15 in the first in her 14 minutes of play.
And their spacing, say it enough. Yes, they're outstanding basketball players, but them are moms. It's like, what can't they do?
For a brief second, Tina Charles.
That's where they got to get the ball.
Decisions to make. Samuelson, top of the key, Trey. Erica Wheeler.
She really is, and probably doesn't get the credit for being the steady.
How the chemistry is there. We were able to see them at shoot-around. See them now to really start enjoying each other's personality.
I don't think I saw that through the first few weeks of the season. And actually, and then their first home game against New York, and this team standing of what's expected on every possession. It's just takes pressure off of their defense.
And I think Tanisha Wright mentioned it as well. It's Clark receives a pass from Wheeler. That bring the ball, knowing where each a clinic here tonight. Gray loses league that have a better road record than at home. Paint. Aerial Powers with the
Tonight.
Illness. If you're just joining us, Ryan Howard out. We have not received.
Facing, they've just been having a couple smiles. We saw Caitlin Clark, Christy Wallace.
Kelsey Mitchell after their last game when they mentioned how this streak has
Just the leadership of Kelsey Mitchell and the experience more than anything. How did that also added on to the lack of consistency? And so they've had a number of adversities, but they're persevering.
court.
Yeah, absolutely.
Instead,
Last few games, keeping in mind she had 27 when the Fever beat the drive of them. But the Dream is shooting 50, the Fever.
the Aces, it's the WNBA on Ion. Friday for up top though, but Indiana has shot over 50%. Going at Smith, couldn't find the angle and a travel call. Under the 2-minute mark here in the ball game. Give up 90 or more points in the first, or 5 of their
To get this first win against Atlanta, you know you can take that forward after this one, make some adjustments, sulk over losses, or sit in defeat. And on the offensive end for the Dream, 24-7. I know that she was challenged defensively trying to pick up Clark, but
Sana Bonner. Atlanta drops to 6-8.